thing. Thing's sick.
What's happening, fellas? We already have a riding demo from pro motocross racer Mario Testa, but I somehow couldn't resist just going once or twice around the parking lot. Like that old song says, kids, don't try this at home without a helmet. Absolutely not. This is probably the holy grail, the high watermark of production ATCs, definitely the high watermark of production ATCs. It has one of the best two-stroke motors ever, the Honda CR250 engine modified for the ATC use. Came from the factory with the gold rims, the forward axle or trailing axle forks, disc brakes front and rear, ProLink gold swing arm, beautiful swoopy fire engine red graphics with the blue seat, red, white, and blue wings on the shrouds. Just an absolutely stunning piece. This is the original tank and plastics as near as I can tell. This is from the Chris Hendricks collection. If you remember a couple months back, we bought a truckload of beautiful bikes with him. He's the retired ATT exec who had to sell some of his toys. Good news, bad news is, well, the good news, guys, this is a brand new engine. From the crank to the piston to all the crank seals and gaskets and the pistons and rings and the whole top end's brand new. All the moving parts are brand new. That's the good news. The bad news is I got a $3,000 plus service order here, parts and labor. Mario Testa, pro motocrosser who did the ride demo, is also a pro mechanic who works here and also works for factory Yamaha at the Yamaha Amateur Nationals, Loretta Lynn's, those kind of events. He's leaving next week. He does 7-8 engines a day at the racetrack. This one here, he took right down to the cases, split the cases, took the crank out, replaced the crank bearings. I'll go over the actual work order here so I don't speak out of tune. While Junior shows you guys the bike, I'm gonna sit down over here and go over the work order. I think I need to sit down when I read the bottom line, but he only had it down for 10 hours service, and that included everything I'm about to tell you here. It has brand new rebuilt crank, new main bearings, new piston, bored 1 millimeter over, cleaned and rebuilt the carb, cleaned the air filter, put a new chain on it. While he had it apart, he put the tank, the engine cases in the vapor blaster tank and vapor blasted everything's super clean, and then put down a nice coat of the original Honda black paint. I think he did some nice detail work on the engine covers, painted the Honda red. So the engine looks brand new on the outside, is brand new on the inside, and like they say, if it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck. This thing hauls ass. I'm 220 pounds naked, and that thing's riding wheelies up the driveway, uphill in third gear like nothing. It tracks straight and true. One of the best handling ATCs I've ever been on. This was Honda's factory race, right out of the box, bring it to the track and race it model. Again, all new oil seals, all new gaskets. It's a Wiseco forged piston kit, 1 millimeter larger than stock. It has a Pro X connecting rod, all new crank seals and engine case gaskets, gasket kit with the seals. New crankcase bearing and seal kit, and it's running VP non-ethanol fuel. It's got the MT2 transmission lube in there. Motor's brand new, guys. Went into the detail shop where they steam cleaned it, power washed it, degreased it. While the motor was out of the frame, they painted the frame rails and the frame sides, the swing arm, the exhaust was stripped and painted. The footpegs were painted, the hand controls were painted. The exhaust was completely restored. Take a look at the exhaust. It's a original factory exhaust in mint condition, which is unheard of on a 10-year-old ATC, let alone a 37-year-old ATC. The exhaust is dent-free and cleaned and repainted. The fork lowers are polished. The rear axles were polished. All the visible aluminum on the bike was cleaned and or polished. The hubs were touched up. The calipers were repainted. The tires are mint tires with probably less than 5 hours use on them. Replacement set of tires. Original factory rims are nice and straight, and the gold coating on the rims is still intact, which is indicating the low hours use. I'm not sure what happened to the original motor. If they ran it without premix in it, who the hell knows, but obviously this is a low hour quad. When you look at the condition of the pegs, look at the condition of the frame rails, the forks, the rims, this is not a bike that's been flipped down the trail or abused. It just, maybe the air filter sucks sand. I don't know. I don't know the history of it. All I know is that when we got it from Chris, it needed a complete mechanical rebuild. We had this shipped up from South Carolina. We paid Chris a pretty penny for it, and then we put another $3,000 in it. So it's not going to be cheap, but good luck finding a nicer 1985 ATC250R with a full documented engine rebuild by a professional mechanic. It's all done. It's ready for another 35 years. Again, take a close look at the swing arm. Take a close look at the rear axle, the chain, the sprockets, the rims, the foot pegs. Let me put it up on its side so you can take a look at the frame rails here. Frame guard, excuse me. That's gasoline's leaking now, of course. But engine cases are in pristine condition. Everything's mint on this bike. If you have any questions about it, give us a call. 860-454-7024. This is the ATC250R, the notorious two-stroke Ripper. Junior, you want to add anything about this?
These things are like hen's teeth, guys. 85 and 86, the ATC250Rs with the gold wheels. For whatever reason, they've eluded us for years. I'm pretty sure this is the first gold wheel ATC250R we've ever shot on the channel and brought through. And it's no excuses. This thing's an absolute animal. Mario's got it running just right. Brakes are solid. The rear end will lock right up on command. Definitely well sorted, ready to rip. Good example.
It's a beautiful piece. It'll be on display in the New England Motorcycle Museum here on the second floor with the other ATCs we have here. If you want to come take a look at it,